coming, and I don't blame you. We're supporting the Homestart charity tonight. Homestart, a group of volunteers. Look, the Homestart table's actually just over there next to my ladder. It's not my real ladder, it's my step ladder. And they sat over there, and Homestart, they give help and support to families with children under 5. So if you've got problems with anything, I guess there's someone to turn to. So it's a good charity, and we are, the tickets that you'll have bought to come here tonight, and the raffle prizes that we've got, and the raffle ticket money that we've got, it's all going towards Homestart to support those volunteers. So I hope you're going to dig deep and support the charity, because they do a lot of good work. And you might know, we're in the grips of a recession, and there's 5 pubs shutting today. Every day there's 5 pubs shutting. But not because of you guys, because you're out supporting the pub, so thanks for that as well. I like to see it as though you're saving your national heritage for your children, so that when your children grow up, they can go out and get blind drunk with a traffic cone on their head, saw down the neighbour's tree with a bow saw, and be sick out the bathroom window. Or was that just me? I don't know. It might have just been me. And if you were in tonight, what would you be doing? Well, you'd be watching telly, wouldn't you? Well, let me tell you what you'd be missing. BBC 1, Soap Documentary News. BBC 2, Wildlife Cookery News. ITV, Soap Drama News. Channel 4, Soap News Documentary Film. Channel 5, News. CSI Miami, CSI New York, CSI Crime Scene Investigation, NCIS. But do not worry if you've missed it, because the same's on tomorrow and for the foreseeable future. Now, I'm Virgin, right? And my package is rubbish. Sorry. I've got Virgin Broadband and my TV package is rubbish, I should say, just in case you're getting the wrong idea. And you get a whole load of rubbish channels with old programmes from the 70s and 80s and 90s. You didn't watch them first time round, so if you missed them this time round, you'd watch them an hour later on another programme. So I don't know what that's all about. But I sometimes wonder if you could spice it up, and I wonder how CSI Saltburn would go down. You know, and like, just imagine some of the stories that happen, like 12 stray dogs were left outside the police station at lunchtime today. The police are looking for leads. Did you like that? Like a gag, that, wasn't it? Police looking for leads. I think a double meaning. Thanks for that. You can throw things now. Get it out of the way. Vandals have broken into the toilets in the square and stolen the toilet seat. Police have got nothing to go on. That's another one! Hey? Police have got nothing to go on. But they've solved the internet fraud thing, all this computer fraud, they've solved that thanks to a new recruit. He's called PC World. So he's helping them out with that one. But yeah, let me tell you a bit about what's happening tonight. We've got 4 or 5 comedians, but also a number of musical acts as well. So there's a broad range of talents, and there should be something for everybody. It'll go something like act, break, act, break, act, break. And then it'll be like the raffle, and then the headline act at the end. So during the breaks, there'll be an opportunity for you to buy raffle tickets if you so desire. Is there anything I can help with over there, Steve? Who's it on the phone? Is anyone I can help with?
Julie.
Oh, Julie, okay. Tell her I was asking after it. Right. Do you like that when people say, tell me asking? You weren't, you don't even know who it is. Tell her I was asking after it, wasn't it? So yeah, that's what's going to happen tonight. The first of those acts is a gentleman called Jon Cook. So I'm going to ask you to put your hands together for a great big Ruby Street welcome for Mr. Jon Cook. One John lad.
Hey Jono. Good evening, ladies and gents. How are you all tonight? No, I don't want an answer. Don't tell me. So.
There's another Julie there collecting money or whatever. Okay. Yeah, he's busy.
No worries. We've got a loudspeaker next time. Right, hiya. I think we're doing a comedy night, weren't we? Yeah, let me tell you about what I do. I work in a hospital. I won't tell you which one because I'm not allowed to, but I work in a hospital. And one of the fun parts of my job is usually at lunchtime I get chatting to the different people working in different departments of a hospital. And one of the guys I got to talk to the other week, he turned out to be a sexologist. Yeah. a sexologist. And, you expect a sexologist has got to have some funny story, surely. So, sure enough, he gave me one. He gave me a story, so, and he told me, that wasn't actually intentional, he gave me a story. He was telling me, a couple of months back, he had a couple came and saw him, a man and a woman. And when they came in, he said, well, how can I help you? And the guy, he said, straight away, no introduction, he went straight away, he said, I'd like you to watch me and my girlfriend have sex. Now, presumably this guy thinks this is what sexologists do all the time, this is what their job is, to be some kind of voyeur or whatever. But the doctor, sexologist, he was a little bit taken aback. After a while, he said, well, okay, yes, my professional capacity, I think I can, withstand arousal if you do that. So he let them get undressed and go out on his couch. And he sat in the corner making notes while this was going on. Well, when they'd finished and put their clothes back on, his verdict was that, there's nothing wrong. I mean, from what I can see, you seem to be putting everything where it should be going. It seems okay. So, no worries, you're fine. But you take up my time, so I got to charge you 32 quid. So the guy paid up and that was that. Well, the same thing happened a week later. Same couple came back asking for the same thing. Once again, same thing happened. They went out on his couch, he started making notes at the end, same verdict. Absolutely nothing wrong, but got to charge you 32 quid. Well, this went on for probably a couple of months. And by this point, the sexologist, who admittedly was raking it in a bit, but I think his curiosity got the better of him, and he just had to finally say, look, you come here every week, yeah, you ask for the same thing, you do the same thing here in front of me. As I say, you seem to be putting everything where it should be going. You seem to have no problems whatsoever, and as far as I can tell, you're certainly enjoying yourselves, so what's the big problem? I mean, what are you trying to find out? And the guy said, well, to be honest with you, I'm not trying to find out anything. The thing is, right, she's married, right, and so that's why we can't go to her house. I'm married, so we can't go to my house. Now the Hilton, they charge 80 quid. And Holiday Inn, that's 60 quid. And we come here, it's £32, and I get £28 back from Booper. So anyone else is thinking of trying that, now you know. So, what else have I been up to recently? Let's see. What was it? Of course. I took a car down the garage a couple of weeks back. And while I was in there, they started, the mechanic, he started telling me all about the fact that I've really got to get a new right-wing mirror. And I don't know about you, but I kind of like the idea that even inanimate objects are these days allowed to hold political positions, because I don't know if you know this, Barack Obama, he only won the election, apparently it says that he only won the election on 4 patio doors and a 3-piece suite. I was quite amazed when I heard that. But, in all truth, from what I gather, America, since Hurricane Katrina, America certainly has been leaning to the left quite a bit, so seems to be the way it's heading. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, yeah, I know what there was. There was this old thing a while back now. I was coming from London on the train. I was heading up to Darlington, and I was quite lucky because I got this really, really cheap ticket, which I thought was fantastic at the time. And it wasn't until I actually got on the train that I kind of realised what the catch was. Basically, for some of this really cheap ticket, but they'd only stuck me in the slow coach. Now, it's called the slow coach because at any given time, it's 2 hours behind the train schedule. Okay? And, I think we were just passing Peterborough when I started to feel a bit hungry, so I thought I'll head to a buffet car and get a bacon butty. So, I made my way up there, but the thing about the slow coach is it's so slow because it's right at the back of the train. So I had to walk through all these carriages, one after the other, and eventually I made it to the buffet car, so I get in there and order my bacon butty, and I just literally got it in my hands when I suddenly noticed out the window we're actually in Darlington. So I just thought, so it's time to get off here because I'm down and I'm going to walk 2 hours back that way all the way to my carriage in Peterborough when I can just get off here in Darlington. So that's what I did. But, sod's law, in the end, I just got off the train at Darlington and it zooms off. When I suddenly felt like an idiot, I've gone and left my suitcase back in the slow coach. So in the end, I had to spend 2 hours standing at Darlington station waiting for it to turn up, which took me shine off it a little bit. But, that's what's been happening to me recently, but it's that's serious. So it's been a bit more personal to me, I suppose, from my past, which I'll share with you now, and that's In fact, a long time ago to me anyway, a long time ago it seems, I was actually engaged, and yeah, that's fantastic. And she was an actress, and to be honest with you, for me, going out with an actress, or this particular actress, I have to say, it's the closest I think I will ever get to going out with a movie star. It just, you know, for me it was just perfect, absolutely amazing. I couldn't really complain. Well, I say complain, there was only one little problem. The thing is, you know, being an actress and that, you'd think that someone who's basically paid to lie, you know, could at least fake their orgasms. Well, I hope that anyway. But, you know, I mean, I don't know, you know, someone who's had all that, what, RADA training and breathing exercises, you know, but you do those breathing exercises to inflate the throat. And, you know, she couldn't even manage a simple, oh yeah. You know, always after, you know, an actress, you know, I thought these actresses, you know, they're quite good at impersonating and all that sort of stuff. And she was always going on about the fact one day she'd win an Oscar. She was always telling me that she could see herself one day holding up the Oscar. And the whole time I was just thinking, yeah, why don't you picture yourself holding up an Oscar for giving the best orgasmic performance in the world? You know, that's what I'd like you to get your Oscar for, but she didn't. So, I know. Yeah, so, I mean, to be honest with you, in the end it got so serious that I had to write a letter to the Actors Union which she was in. I wrote this letter and it went something like this. It was, Dear Sir, I wish to complain that one of your members is claimed to be a professional, and yet every time every time I see her, she gives a performance that can only be described as pure amateur dramatics. P.S. Is she on your books as a mime artist? Seemed that way at the time. Well, I'm going to re-dry throat now. What was it? The other week I was watching TV, and there was a government minister on there, and he was making this big long speech, and the gist of it was that he was saying that the opposition to the government, they shouldn't be allowed to sort of take over the state of the economy because they have no experience in running a government. And you know, from my perspective, I would say, well, what about on-the-job training? You know, I like to call this. Well, I've got a little title for it. I call it "Learn as you rule." Okay, so someone says to you, you know, well, the economy's going to shit. You know, it's all your fault. You say, hey, wait a minute. I'm just a Prime Minister in training here, yeah? I haven't even passed my exams yet, so just don't give me a hard time about it, yeah? Because the thing is, you think about it, yeah? I mean, how do you actually get experience of running a country, yeah? I mean, you know, would you start off with running a really small country? You know, somewhere like Legoland, because that's quite small, isn't it? And, you know, if you didn't stand on too many of your voters, you could, you know, you could move on somewhere a bit more significant, like Lapland. And, you know, if you didn't slap too much of an export tax on Santa, you could, you know, you could carry on to the likes of Swaziland, and of course you have to do Switzerland straight after that, wouldn't you? Because, you know, it just makes sense. You'd have those two together. And then, you know, one day, I think you'd be fit enough. Well, let's say you'd have the experience to be able to run England, yeah. Which, you know, be a crowning point of your career. I think, you know, you're finally in that position of running England, and you know, having done that, you'd be about ready to retire. Retired in a blaze of glory, having run England. And, you know, you finally retire, but, you know, unfortunately, like so many other pensioners these days, you end up with a part-time job for Iceland. Well, thank you very much. I'm Jon Cook, you've been in the audience. Thank you!